A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Gana of Nakshatras and their importance in understanding a chart. Are they important? They are very important. And how would you be able to understand them? Well, to begin with, there are three Gana: Dev Gana, Manushya Gana and Rakshas Gana. And let's see how they function in our chart. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and your suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Okay, so when we are talking about Gana, as I said, every nakshatra has a Gana, whether it's a Dev Gana, a Manushya Gana or a Rakshas Gana. And depending on its Gana, that also has certain qualities, so to speak, which will, when a planet is sitting there, define a lot about that planet also. So let's go in detail about these Ganas. The three Ganas, that is the Dev Gana. Of the three Ganas, the Dev Gana talks about what a Devata is like. They're very loving, they're very caring, they're very dutiful, they're very responsible. They like to do good to others and they know that what their responsibility is and they carry it on to fulfill those responsibilities. They do not expect much from others and they know that they have, by the virtue of their status, they have a higher position and they have to help others. They have a lot of good sterling qualities. One of the qualities that is not so good or sterling is they can be a little complacent. They can be laid back and can be very happy, or they can feel content with what they have in life as such. Not that they don't have much in life or they are lacking, they have lots in. Now let's move on to the Manushya Gana. When we talk about Manushya Gana, it is very clear that planets which are placed in Manushya Gana Nakshatra, they have a barter system. I do this much for you and I expect that in return from you. I want to conquer the entire world, but I also have a responsibility of making sure that nobody is harmed, or at least follow the path of least resistance. This is the typical human tendency. When the human tendency becomes more aggressive, or is when the nakshatra is aspected by a malefic, then a person may think a lot about his or her own profits and give no care or concern for the other person. But generally, this Manushya Gana would have a win-win kind of a profitable situation. Now let's come to the Rakshas Gana. The Rakshas Gana is a very strong Gana. The Rakshasas are said to have a very strong mind frame. They would go for what they want, irrespective of what is in their path. If they form a problem, if they find something that is not working for them, they make inroads into that. They try to break away with every obstacle, every glass ceiling that ever is or ever was to reach their goal. They are that focused. So focus is one of the major strong points. But getting what you want, so desire very strongly, and that too without any care or concern for whoever that is lost in the path, whoever is destroyed in the path. Flip side of the Rakshas Gana that we see. So when we compare these three Ganas, we understand that they are all in their own right have their good side and their flip side. How is it that I am going to use it practically? Well, I use it a lot in my readings and I use it a lot when I am teaching in my nakshatras. So I'll give you a preview as to how we need to use them. First and foremost, they are used majorly in marriage matching, but I do not just put it in marriage matching, I put it beyond that also. So I'll give you an example beyond that also. When the Gana is Dev Gana, say for your 7th lord is placed in a Dev Gana nakshatra, you know that the spouse will be complying, the spouse will be loving, the spouse will be responsible, the spouse will be more in tune with your needs. On the other hand, when it is placed in the Rakshasa Gana, then you know the spouse may be very strong. For example, if your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, which is a Rakshasa Gana, then you know your spouse can be very thick-headed, can be very strong in their opinions. You know that the spouse would want to do things in their way only and may not give leeways. The spouse could be ruling you, and all such things can come to the mind. So these things are very important to observe, and today's society is so that we need to know them in detail so that we can have a happy life with the person. In the earlier times, it was said that a man with a Devgan should not be married to a girl with a Rakshasa Gana, or a man with a higher Gana could not be married to a lady with a lower Gana. It is because it was probably that the lady would suffer, or there could be some discontentment in the joint family. But we see that when in today's day and time, we see along with other parameters that we need to study, because that in itself cannot make a one strong judgment about the charts to be compared. But when we are talking about Gana, it is important to consider that if both the people will have very strong Rakshasa Gana, then in that case, married life will have a lot of its turbulence, because nobody would want to budge beyond a certain level. They can be very adamant, can be very determined, and can be very focused on their own goals, not taking care of the other person. So these are a few things that one needs to consider. Now supposing I have my 5th lord in a very Devgan nakshatra, then I know that a person that will have the ability to my child or my guru or my elders will be very loving, will be very caring, will be responsible, and will have the ability to give unconditionally. Whereas if I find that this same 5th lord is there in the Rakshasa Gana nakshatra, then it can cause trouble for me with my students, with my children, where they can be very focused, they can be very goal oriented, and they may not want to take the side of ethics there. So understanding a person's characteristic can help you find out when the person concerned can undergo a lot of problems in their life, because a certain level of stubbornness, a certain level of uncompromising attitude can, in our bad periods, be our downfall. Till we meet with you again, stay safe.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.